Hello and welcome to today's episode of Today in Quarantine, coming to you live from my front steps. I haven't done an episode outside in a while, so I thought that would be a pretty good change. And it's a beautiful day. So why not? Today is Thursday, May 28th, and we're on the sevens in terms of May, but we're off the sevens in terms of episode numbers. This is episode 69. Yeah, that's right. That is 13 times 3. No, hold on here. 3 times 23. Yes, 3 times 23 is 69. So there you go. We've done this 3 times, 23 times. That makes sense. Actually, it does. So today is just a beautiful day. One thing that's definitely taking some getting used to is the fact that there's not a lot to do right now. And even what there is to do, it's limited. So that's a little bit crazy and getting used to. It's going to take some getting used to. But I am definitely enjoying kind of the free time and being able to clean and not being like tied down to my computer. Um, so that's nice. Less emails, which is also really nice. Um, Definitely am enjoying that. Less Zoom meetings, no Zoom meetings. That also has its downside because kind of for the last couple months I've been kind of leaning on these people who I've been working with, and now we're not doing that anymore. So it's definitely got its downside. But I'm thankful for people who like you guys, like viewers, who are watching this and just kind of keeping me like synced up and stuff like that. So I definitely appreciate that. Um, and yeah, my brother's been coming over to my house more often than not, at least once a day, which I really appreciate. Keeps me sane. So yeah, what's keeping you sane these days? We're in like 70 days of quarantine at this point, so we're almost at quarantine times two. Because remember, quarantine is 40 days, so we're almost at 80 days. So what's been keeping you sane for the past 70 days or so? Um, Make sure you have that support system. That's super important. Or to be the support system. Sometimes being a support system helps you be, um, yeah, helps you be in feel supported. Yeah. Andrew says he's what's keeping me sane is routines, which will end after this week. Unfortunately, I feel that Andrew, and it's okay. You're gonna make it. You are going to make it. Definitely, I'm trying to build in some sort of routines into my life. So just kind of getting up, not getting up like way late in the day helps me stay insane or stay sane, not insane. And my mom says the same thing. Being on the schedule keeps me sane. Yeah. So actually, having to do this podcast definitely just adds to the fact of this is something that I need to do. Having just kind of that purpose helps a lot. One thing that's actually been a bit of a downer, more of a downer than, or not more of a downer than I thought it would be, but definitely a downer is at the beginning of this, all we still had planned in the Illinois conference to have camp, um, but after kind of looking through our options and realizing what camp would probably look like this summer with social distancing guidelines and everything like that, we decided not to do camp in the traditional way, and they're trying to figure out some virtual option to do instead. So that's very disappointing. I was looking forward to it, but as we just kind of looked at the options, for example, we could only have about 35 campers total in our camp, and we usually like normal camp numbers. Our camp capacity is around like 84, 90, somewhere in there. So it's less than half. Um, So, that was one thing. We'd have to do like social distancing, and really the kids could only interact with kids in their cabin. So we were like, yeah. Also, the American Camps Association has not actually released any guidelines for overnight camps, mostly just um, day camps. So that also put a damper on things. It's a little disappointing, but I think we won't regret this decision later on in life next year, hopefully. So yeah, we're gonna do some sort of virtual camp. We haven't decided what exactly we're gonna do with that yet, but we're gonna do it, and I'm looking forward to that. And we might do some sort of like camp work bee where we get the staff to come in and just help clean up the camp a little bit later. The crazy thing about all this is I looked forward as I'm looking at like how time has been going on, is that this weekend would have been the weekend that I would have been heading up there to do camp. This actually would have been camp meeting weekend here in the Kansas Nebraska Conference. So that's a little bit crazy that um, how much all of this has progressed. So definitely interesting stuff. Trying to think here. I had something else to say. Now I can't remember it. But yeah, that's kind of what what's going on in life. It's kind of funny. I think really staying in school kept me like really focused and really sane about things. Um, but yeah, kind of being out of a schedule is kind of giving me like a wandering like thing to mind. So that's fun. Um, my mom is asking if there's summer school for LPS or CVA. There is summer school for LPS. I'm not teaching it because I'm not an employee anymore. And CVA, I don't think has a um, summer school program at the moment. And LPS I think, is doing their summer school online, so that's fun. Um, but yeah, some things that I'm looking forward to though. This weekend at the Northside Church, they're having a drive-in worship service as well, kind of like they did like this like they did at CBC last week. So that's kind of cool. Andrew asked if I'm teaching private lessons for the summer. I am teaching some private lessons, at least through the month of June. Through this whole thing, at the beginning of this, I had 10 students. Now I have 3, and so that helps me stay busy. Definitely, they're usually actually I have 2 of them today, so that's fun. Uh, yeah, if your friend wants to learn guitar, Andrew, send them over, and I'll talk to them. I'll also talk to them about it. But yeah. Yes. So anyway, moving on past that. Like I said, today's a beautiful day. It is probably about 80 degrees, maybe a little bit less, maybe like 77. And the sun is shining. There's a couple clouds in the sky, some cirrus clouds. Um, and hopefully just the weather kind of stays where it's at right now. I used to be able to tell the weather by looking at the clouds. I really liked meteorology and like geology and stuff, but I can't remember any of that right now. So that's great. But if you look them up, clouds mean something. They truly do. All right. Well, it's come to the point in the show that you've been looking forward to all day. And don't try and deny it, because I know you have been looking forward to this all day. Because that's why you're here. That's the whole reason you're here, isn't it? It's fine. You can admit it. You're here for the dad jokes. It's okay. All right. You don't have to admit it right away. But eventually, you should admit it. So, coming first up, um, somebody at work asked why, or he was taking like pilot lessons, flying lessons, and then he stopped, and so I asked him, you know, why do you give up flying lessons? And he said, well, pilot jobs just aren't really taking off at the moment. Thank you. All right. Um, why was the baker's assistant fired? Because he was just loafing around. Oh man, I quit my job as a post mail person, mail deliverer. I was gonna say mailman, but I'm a woman. Mailwoman. I quit my job as a mailwoman when they handed me my first letter to deliver. I looked at it and I thought, this isn't for me. Oh my goodness. Hey, what kind of concert? I may have said this before, but what concert um, only cost 45 cents? 50 Cent featuring Nickelback. Oh, everyone's a critic. My mom and Andrew are here out here criticizing these jokes and making new versions. That's all right. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna tell a yoga joke, but it's kind of a bit of a stretch. Yesterday, or just weird things keep happening around town. Hospital visits are down, but people still have weird accidents. Somebody recently got hit in the can or hit in the head with a can of soda. But luckily for them, it was a soft drink. I have a couple friends who speak Spanish, and lately I've just been saying mucho to them because it means a lot. Oh boy. All right, one more. What do you call a flawless bank robbery with no fingerprints left behind? Stainless steel. Oh man. Oh man. Mucho, everybody. It means a lot. Uh, it's just like the plethora joke from yesterday. Just like the plethora joke. Oh, anyway, thank you guys for coming out to today in quarantine today. Um, and we'll see you tomorrow for another episode of Today in Quarantine. Have a great day. Stay safe, stay inside, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.